Am I the asshole for giving my son's bedroom to our foster child? My husband and I have been foster parents for over a decade. 2 months ago, we had 4 minor children living in our home. Our 12-year-old biological son, our 8 and 5-year-old adopted sons, and our 21-month-old foster son. Our 22-year-old foster daughter also still lives at home with us, and my 19-year-old son spent the summer back home after his freshman year of college. We also have other adult children that don't live at home but not really relevant. 7 weeks ago, we got a call for an emergency placement of 5 siblings: 17F, 12F, 10 meters, 7F, 6 meters. We only had 2 spare bedrooms but had enough spare beds in storage to make it work with the girls in one room and the boys in the other. It now looks like we are going to be fostering the 5 of them for considerably longer than we thought when they were placed with us. Because of the large age gaps between the girls, having them share more long-term isn't really ideal. We already moved the boys a few weeks ago. We bought a triple bunk for our 8 and 5-year-old's room and moved the 6-year-old in with them, and put the 10-year-old's bed into our 12-year-old's room. This allowed the 17-year-old girl to get her own room and the 2 younger girls to share. None of this created any drama, and the boys were all more than happy to share rooms with each other. Now that my 19-year-old is going back to college, we discussed and eventually agreed on turning his bedroom into a room for our 12-year-old girl so she has her own space away from her little sister. He wasn't impressed when I brought up the idea but agreed. However, before he left back for college a few days ago, he got into an argument with my husband, complaining it's unfair he's lost his room and that he has nowhere to go when he comes back home now. My other adult son also contacted me about the situation to essentially tell me it was a bad idea, and that his brother is really upset, and just because he's been away for college a year doesn't mean he is ready to lose his spot in the house. Last year we didn't need the extra space, so his room stayed empty when he was at college. This year it makes no sense to leave a bedroom empty and to make 2 girls 5 years apart in age share a room. He is still welcome home whenever, and if things change, e.g. he drops out, we can rearrange things. Again, losing his room is temporary as we don't normally have so many foster kids. When our other kids' grandkids visit, they happily use an air mattress in the den or bunk with a sibling, and he can do the same on his school breaks. He will most likely have his room back by next summer, and if not, we will figure out solutions then. I have explained all this to him, but he's not hearing me. Am I the asshole? I've bought new decor etc. for the room and plan on decorating and moving our foster daughter in tomorrow. Info. Why is it important for your 12-year-old foster daughter to need her own room but not for your 12-year-old son to need his own room? It really is coming off that you are prioritizing the foster kids over your biological adopted children, and that will cause a whole host of issues. Info. What's the process you use when deciding whether or not to accept a placement? Do you get the whole family's input? Have you asked your kids in a real way how they feel about having so many foster kids join the family at once? You're the asshole. Not for fostering, obviously, but for not realizing that it's your choice and your husband's to foster, not your children's. So by all means do it if you can do it without shuffling your own children around. They are gonna grow up thinking you care more about the foster kids than your own. You're the asshole. However, before he left back for college a few days ago, he got into an argument with my husband, complaining it's unfair he's lost his room and that he has nowhere to go when he comes back home now. Don't be surprised when he chooses not to come back. Air mattress in the den or bunk with a sibling, and he can do the same on his school breaks. Yeah, You're seriously overestimating the appeal of this family structure. Although I respect and applaud you for wanting to help out, I think this is you're the asshole. How big is your actual house? I'm counting like 10 people plus you two living in your house, and you're talking about triple bunk beds. I can understand why your son feels like you are taking on too much and pushing him out. I wouldn't be surprised if the older children feel that way too and just aren't saying it. You're the asshole. He is your biological son. You have basically just told him he has been kicked out of his home. Of course he is upset. Where the hell does he go outside of term time now you have given his room away? What next, are you going to give all his stuff away as well? You choose to foster. This is a good thing, but it shouldn't be to the detriment of your own children. YTA, you are giving away more than you have, and your son is paying the price, so to speak. Facts, you don't have the room to foster properly. Facts, you still continue to do so at the cost of your current family, both bio and non-bio. Do with that what you will. He will most likely have his room back by next summer, and if not, we will figure out solutions then. I have explained all this to him, but he's not hearing me. So do you not expect him to come home to visit? What about holidays? It sounds like you're not listening to him, and you all are overexerting yourself and don't actually have the space for all these kids. Fostering is a choice, and you're doing it at the expense of your own kids. You're the asshole. You're taking on more than you can really handle here. It's admirable that you want to help, but crowding these children in to the point that you're pushing out your own children is not the stable, loving home they need. These children can see that your own child is losing their place in the house, and that will absolutely affect their trust in you as a source of stability. You're doing no favors to your foster children, and you're undermining your relationship with your own son at that. Please scale back your giving to something more manageable. You're the asshole. You want to help, but there is a point where you can help only at the expense of your children, and it looks like you already reached that point. I suspect this is not about the room. I think your family's situation is unstable, and your children feel that their life may change in any moment, that they don't have their own place, just temporary location. And your son? With so many children, including those he doesn't really know and doesn't feel any connection to, he may feel that you've replaced him. You're the asshole. Why are you prioritizing new foster kids over your biological children? My other adult son also contacted me about the situation to essentially tell me it was a bad idea, and that his brother is really upset, and just because he's been away for college a year doesn't mean he is ready to lose his spot in the house. A life tip: if a person agrees to something to you, but then expresses that they're upset to another person, it probably means they're not comfortable with telling you the truth. You're the asshole. He most likely won't be back. You've made the decision that he's not a permanent member of your family anymore. It's not just an empty room that he sleeps in when he's visiting you. It's his bedroom with his stuff in his home. College is temporary. He'll stay with friends or his older siblings during college visits. It will be easier to be a guest in their home than in yours. You're the asshole. Be ready for your son to never come visit anymore because he doesn't feel like he has a place. Former foster kid here: you're the asshole. You simply do not have the room to foster these kids. It sucks. I know you want to help, but you can't on this occasion. It is vital that you prioritize your bio kids. Every foster home I've been in has done that, and I've never felt unhappy about it. It's your son's home first. Always.